Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're doing a video talking about why Pokemon is so expensive. So I've been lucky enough to grow up with the Pokemon games. So although I've had to pay retail for each game, it's nothing compared to how much you would have to pay if you or your children wanted to play all the games from the beginning of the series now. So I'm going to go through a few different prices in the UK and the cheapest hardware options that we have as well, and we're going to find out how much it's going to cost us to play every single Pokemon game. So let's start with the Game Boy Advance or Game Boy Advance SP. This will allow you to play your Game Boy games and your Game Boy Color games. The SP is possibly a better choice as it does have that backlight, but chargers are often hard to come by. The original Game Boy Advance uses two AA batteries, which when you're using rechargeable batteries, it might actually be a better option, but it does take some getting used to not having the backlight. Unboxed versions of the Game Boy Advance will set you back £60, or an unboxed SP will set you back £90. You might be able to get one slightly cheaper off Vinted or eBay. We're looking at the CEX prices at the moment. So now to take a look at game prices. There's obviously the potential to play one version of each game, but I want to give the price of all the individual games. So I'll give the prices all as unboxed so that it'll be the cheapest version. The price of Pokemon games is only going up. Now red is currently £40, blue is £35 and yellow is £35. Gold is £35 as well, silver £40 and crystal will set you back £60. Now if you are a collector, a mint copy of Crystal is currently selling on CEX for £335. Unless Nintendo and Game Freak do bring the games over to the Nintendo Switch, the price will continue to increase for all of these games. Fire Red is £60, Leaf Green £55, Ruby is £42 and Sapphire is currently £45 as well. Pokemon Emerald Unboxed is £80 and that brings a close to the first 3 generations, and we're now going to have to upgrade the hardware to be able to play the next games. Okay, so far the current total is £587. And that doesn't include the batteries that might need replacing in the cartridges in order to actually play the games. The price of these games has had a big increase since the eShop closed, and for a series aimed at children, it doesn't seem particularly accessible to them. You can understand why so many people are turning to ROMs now to play older games. Given that most phones are actually powerful enough to play these games, it doesn't make sense to invest all of that money when you've already got something in your pocket that can play them already. But we will move on to the DS and the 3DS generations. So given the 3DS ability to play DS games as well, the cheapest option now is going to be to invest in one of the older original 3DS systems. CEX currently sell the original unboxed Aqua Blue 3DS for £110. Starting off with Diamond, which comes in at £40, Pearl is also £40 and Platinum is £75. CEX don't sell cartridge only DS or 3DS games, so a retro game shop or eBay, Vinted are likely to be cheaper for cartridge only DS and 3DS games. The remakes for Gold and Silver, Heart Gold is £98, Soul Silver is £95, Pokemon Black is £55, Black 2, will set you back £90. White is slightly cheaper at £48, and White 2 is also cheaper at £80. Something I hadn't realised until making this video was just how many fake versions are out there. So sometimes sticking with CEX, it means at least you won't get a fake cartridge. With the 3DS and the DS games, the total is up to £1,318. We're going to move on to 3DS games, which if you wanted to play them in more stable 3D or a bigger screen, you could get the new 3DS XL, but the price has reached well over £200 now, and we're trying to keep the cost down and keep it as low as possible, so we're going to stick to that original 3DS. Now, Pokemon Ruby currently sits at £40, Alpha Sapphire is £40 as well. The next few games are still relatively cheap and available on Amazon. So these are the CEX prices though. Sun is 15, Ultra Sun is 32, Moon and Ultra Sun are the same price, 15 and 32. And the final 3DS games, Y is 32 and X is 30. If you look at the prices of the 3DS games, they do offer the best value and are definitely worth picking up now, because if the games do follow trend, then it won't be long before these start to go up in price. I believe it's because they're not out of print yet. Once they do go out of print, probably in the next 18 to 24 months, then you'll start to see that big increase in price. So our total so far is £1,554. Modern generations require the Nintendo Switch, so trying to keep the price down as much as possible. CEX currently sell an unboxed Switch Lite for £140. Let's Go Pikachu comes in at 32. And Let's Go Eevee is currently at 35. And I think with these two games, the less said about these two, probably the better, I think. Let me know what your thoughts are about the Let's Go series. And then just moving through the Switch games, we've got Sword at 25, Shield at 28, Shining Pearl 25, and Brilliant Diamond is 28. I know it's not in the mainline series, but the new Legends Arceus game is 35, and I really do hope we get to see more in this series. And then the latest games in the series, Scarlet and Violet, they're currently at 35 and £38. I know there's a huge argument as to just say, oh, why don't you just download them and use ROMs, etc, etc. But I wanted to try and suggest the cheapest way of picking all of these games up. Again, you might be able to pick them up slightly cheaper with bundles and various other things like that. But we have focused on UK CEX prices, and our grand total is £1,975 to play all of the mainline Pokemon series on handheld systems. Even a bad selling Pokemon game is still probably very, very good selling in any other franchise. Pokemon Crystal, 3.9 million, Pokemon Emerald, 7 million, and Pokemon Platinum, 7.6 million. So the argument there is that's probably why Pokemon Crystal is one of the most expensive games. The same with Emerald and Platinum. They're starting to go up in price, and they will probably reach that similar level of Crystal very, very soon. But let me know what your thoughts are. Do you think that Nintendo need to address this? Because, as I say, for a franchise aimed at children, if they want to go back and play those old games, do you expect parents to to pay out this money, or if you want to go back and revisit your childhood, should you be expected to try and play and pay this much money? How do you feel about it? Because, as I say, even if you're not picking up every game, you know, there's a few games there that were approaching the £100 mark. Games that I added to my collection last year have gone up significantly in a year. God knows what they're going to be in another year's time. So, yeah, it's a franchise that's becoming more and more expensive and less accessible for people, I believe. So let me know in the comments what your opinions are, what you think Nintendo need to do, or if they don't need to do anything. But remember, if you like video game collecting, if you like handheld gaming, both modern and retro, if you obviously like Pokemon, hit subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Thank you, guys. Take care. Bye, 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 bye.